Hello. I don't know if you've ever had these, Harry. I recently went on a date with my girlfriend.
You have a girlfriend?
Yes. I mentioned her like 5 times every episode.
Damn.
And we went to an anime store, which they're hiring, which I'm gonna try to apply to. But okay, have you ever had this where like in the email,
y'all hiring?
where you send an email to like something or somebody, but like their email server isn't working, so it gets rejected?
I don't really email a lot, to be honest.
I email a lot.
I hate my email. I hate looking at my email. It causes too much stress for me.
It does cause a lot of unnecessary stress.
Like I look at it, it's like the key is like, hey, we need a payment right now of $200 million. I'm like, hey, come on, I'm just a kid.
So we went to the store and we got some goodies, and we're gonna have a live Loos Harlock taste test of this. This is matcha Kit Kat. Matcha is more colloquially
like green tea.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what that is.
You are, my friend. I don't know if you ever had this.
Wow, has wacky little lettering on it. Multiple languages. I'm sorry, Japanese people. You're not watching this, so we're good, right?
It's like this really bizarro, like...
It's so small compared to our packaging.
Yeah. It's like this really bizarro, like, how do you describe, like, khaki green color?
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Oh.
And try to taste this at the same time as Harut.
It's very small.
It is very small. I've already had it, but I want to hear what you think. I really like it. My girlfriend hated it.
I'm enjoying it. I don't usually like the matcha green tea. Like I've tried like my mom got like mochi from like someplace, and it was like a green tea flavor, and I didn't really like it too much.
Oh, I love green tea mochi.
This is pretty good. It kind of tastes like a less like. I think there were cookies and cream Kit Kat.
Yeah.
It tastes like a much tamer version of that, like a less like punches you in the face with flavor. Like
how would I put it? It's like
smaller too, obviously, because you know our proportions are fucking insane.
It's a little you can like
getting a weird taste now. I'm drinking from my drink after having that.
Like you can taste the matcha initially, but then it just like doesn't stay.
It's just the wafer kind of. The wafer inside like, kind of takes control.
Yeah.
That's good.
That was good. I like it. My girlfriend didn't hate it, but she thought it was like, ugh. Like, it was really bizarre to her.
What was she expecting?
It's like, matcha green tea is like a really, really popular flavor of stuff in Japan.
Makes sense. Have you seen the videos that are like, Wingstop in the UK versus the US?
Oh yeah.
And they just buy everything from Wingstop and show the proportions. We're kind of fucking crazy in the US. I think the biggest difference, like the wings were basically the same portions, cause like with wings usually you'll get it either with people and you'll get a bunch.
Yeah.
So it's not like, oh, this is one combo, it gives you 500 wings in the US, but only gives us 5 in the UK. It's not like that. But the biggest difference, of course, is the drinks. Like the drink sizes.
Oh, for sure.
Like, they'll give you a bucket in the US versus in the UK. Which is better. Smaller, but like, having the option for a bigger thing, a bigger, like, cup is good, though. I feel like if you're going on like a road trip, you would like to have like a drink mostly like throughout the way. But I guess if you're going on a road trip, you're not in the UK first of all, and you're not at Wingstop.
I feel okay. It's twofold of an issue, right? Yes, the US's size proportions are way too big. That's not under debate. I feel though like. People a little bit do overstate that, like, because this isn't a concept in a lot of other countries, which is, there's some topics that I wanted to get back to from the first episode, but we're just talking about
never.
We're trying to get better about that. not to just be absent-minded, but
I'm feeling we're doing pretty good right now.
the problem is that, like, what I was gonna say is that a concept that we have in the U.S. that isn't really present in a lot of other countries that and it's shitty to say, but we throw away a lot of food. Like, a lot of the time, that, like, food that we get, we don't always eat it.
Like, there's a whole food surface called imperfect foods. That is, a lot of grocery stores throw out food that doesn't look good.
Oh, yeah.
It tastes perfectly fine, just does not look good. And so imperfect foods will send you, like, a bunch of, like, fruits or, like, stuff that would get thrown out. So you could just get it on your doorstep of fresh food that would have been thrown away anyway. I think the worst of the throwing away food is the whole fucking stupid shit with the homeless people, like, being able to sue you if you give them food and they get sick. Like, there are videos of, like, Dunkin' Donut employees throwing away, like, a shit ton of donuts.
It's insane.
A shit ton of give it to the homeless people. Like, there needs to be a law for this. Like, obviously it's to protect homeless people in a way, because like, if someone could just go out there with, like, poisoned donuts and be like, hey, here you go, fresh batch, right? And then, I mean, if they get sick, they can't sue you, I guess. But it's like, that food needs to go somewhere. There's got to be some kind of regulation.
Oh my god.
Like a government mandated, like, homeless shelter, not government mandated, but like a homeless shelter that takes in that food and verifies that it's good to eat.
What is this
and gives it out
right here in between us? Chandler, have you ever, like, gone past the bridge underneath Chandler and then seen, like, the little homeless shelters they built there?
I've not. No, I didn't pay attention to it. If I did,
I saw that.
I just have $1.
How much money do I have? Oh, 1,414.
Status is good.
I'm basically a millionaire in this fucking podunk country.
Back in my day, I could go to the shop and get a bread and milk with just 5 pounds on me. Oh, why do they use pounds? Why is it called pounds? Super potion.
What do they use for weight? Kilograms, right?
Yeah. Though that makes sense. Those are all, like, divided by, like, 10, right?
Yeah,
and it's a lot easier to do all that.
Like, 1 gram is like, or like one. Oh god.
Isn't ours just, like, relative to, like, stuff in, like,
no,
life?
it's not relevant. It's not relative to anything.
Like a foot.
It's something like, I could be completely wrong, but I might be switching them. But it's like 1 gram is like 1,000 kilograms or something.
Something like, yeah, like centimeters, millimeters is like 1/10 of that.
Yeah,
and
like,
then
it's all perfectly roundable. The only one that I don't agree with, like, in the metric system, is height, just because, like, feet and inches just sound better.
Yeah, centimeters is just like, he's 175 centimeters. It's like, oh, what the fuck?
Like, I can't say
is.
that I'm like 160 centimeters or what.
Like, saying you 6 foot, it just sounds cooler.
Yeah.
And also, our calendar system is better. That's it.
Oh, we have
it makes more sense.
The month in front of the date?
The month is very important.
Yeah.
The other ones are too general. Like, the day, if I say the...
Fuck, when were you here?
Like, the month is very important. Like, usually when you tell someone a date, you're gonna tell them the month, right? Get his ass.
Have you ever seen...
Talk that shit!
Have you ever seen the people who... I don't know which countries use it, but there are some countries that use...
There's people?
Year, date, month.
That's just ours, but backwards.
I don't like that.
Like I guess the other ones are, like, make sense because it's, you know, day, month. It's like going up in terms of, like, the length of it, right?
Yeah.
I feel like ours puts it in more importance. Like, when you're planning things is when you get the date and when you have to use that date, right?
Yeah.
Usually. Most of the time, you're talking about in the year, and you're gonna use months the most when you're planning stuff. So month makes sense being first. And then day also makes sense because you gotta know when in that month. The year, it's like
I guess it's not.
It's kind of
it's
important.
not confusing to the people who use it, but for me, it's like really confusing when I've seen like 11-5, 11-3, like 2018, and I'm like, are we talking November? Are we talking March?
Is this Freedom Day? Is this a Freedom Date or is this a loser tea date? I like when people just call dollars freedom money. Yeah, we're free.
America. Fuck yeah.
I hate the people that are super patriotic, but I like stupid super patriotic things.
I like patriotism when it's taken not literally. I think that's fun.
Fuck you, British cunt. America, #1 in obesity. Yeah. Are we #1 in obesity?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
As an aside, have you ever
We did it. We've killed the kids.
Have you ever like spoken around somebody and they like eventually they like copy like your form of speech?
I feel like when I don't want to take credit for anything, but like I feel like my friend group has like I was more on the internet more than I think most people were.
Yeah.
And so a lot of my jokes are like internet jokes. And I was just on the know of what's new and all that, right?
Yeah, it's always,
like I was first on like the Instagram meme pages.
It always astounds me whenever we say like a joke and
not the Daquan Instagram, like the really shitty, the edgy ones that were really edgy in 2016. It was super edgy in 2016.
It always
before that though.
Sort of astounds me like when we make a joke and Abe is completely unaware of what we're talking about.
Hell, even I have some jokes like you are kind of like odd where when you're into things, but you're like into things weirdly, like with anime. Like you kind of have the basic like Dragon Ball Z, and then for some reason you just hopped over all the other popular stuff into all the obscure stuff. So you know all about obscure stuff, but then when you like someone brings up Bleach or One Piece, you're like, I don't know what the fuck y'all be doing.
I wouldn't want to watch Bleach.
I know, but
Bleach
like
fucking sucks.
I know, but like when like anyone talks about that and we're not like My Hero and like the popularity going on with that, you're just like you're out of the know and you're like, what's going on with y'all? Why y'all acting like this?
Yeah,
but like you're like, oh yeah, my flower died tomorrow, so I reincarnated into a slime. You're like, oh yeah, that was just masterpiece. Like, oh, beautiful.
I mean, that's like the whole bunny girl senpai thing, where
like
it's
you just like kind of like
it's only recently coming more into vogue because like it wasn't really very popular when it came out. Not that it's
pretty popular.
Not as it's like it's gotten a lot bigger because I think a lot more people are like recognizing it, but it's like it wasn't necessarily like the biggest show when it initially released, and mostly because of the title is just kind of fucking really out there.
Yeah, it is, and it's harder to get people on romance stuff. The shonen heads.
I don't want to feel emotion. No.
There's a reason why your name and stuff like that were able to get like really popular, and it's not just because it looked beautiful. That's one thing, right? No, I'm fine. But it was like, it's also because it has the sci-fi element. Like, it's easy to get people into that. You're like, oh yeah, your name is, these people switch bodies and all that. You're like, oh, that kind of sounds cool. That kind of sounds, and you're going, it's just a rom-com. I mean, the whole, like, switching body thing aspect's cool and all, but it's just a romantic movie, you know? And then, like, Bunny Senpai, you're like, oh, this girl, she can't be seen by anyone but him. It's just a rom-com. There's some stuff that happens in it, but that doesn't, like, these are vehicles. Like, you could go through all of Evangelion. The mech stuff doesn't matter. The whole talk about like the angels and like God and like Adam and Eve doesn't matter. It's all about Shinji and getting his cock wet. That's it. My man masturbating in the hospital bed. So I was saying, you kind of just like, you started off on like Dragon Ball, and then you just hopped over everything popular into obscure stuff, and just like kind of like, you know, all the obscure stuff. You're that far into anime, but like everything else behind you, all the popular stuff, you just don't know anything. I mean, you know it, but like, you don't care.
I'm not entrenched.
You're not into it.
I don't care about it very much.
Yeah. And then like YouTube, I don't know, like you're into old YouTubers, but you don't know anything about like current YouTubers and like some other YouTubers.
I'm very. I don't know.
It's like you have niche.
I would say I'm very stuck in my ways about a lot of things, and like when I want to branch out on stuff.
How are we playing, bro?
Oh no, because the episode ended.
Oh
no! No, but just to finish this episode up, like I would say, like I'm very stuck in my ways about a lot of stuff. But when I branch out like really far. So like, let's say like to somebody who would be into like retro games or whatever, like their bare minimum would just be like, oh, playing like Switch, like playing NES games on my Switch or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I'm like.
You wanna be on the NES?
Like, give me that shitty composite video.
Like, it's you with games too. Like everything. You're just like life. You just hopped over a lot of like you don't like. If I try to talk to you about Call of Duty and all of that stuff, you're like, what? What are you talking about?
The only thing I'm not like that, it was sports.
Yeah, sports. You're pretty much just you in there.
Because I really like sports.
It's hard to be niche about sports unless you're like, oh yes.
No, but you can be niche about sports because you can like a sport and then not completely care about other things. Like when we were doing the podcast, like I really love soccer. Not just because I'm Mexican, but I really love soccer.
But did Aiden not watch it?
Aiden fucking.
And so it was probably hard to talk about it.
Yeah, but like,
I don't care about soccer. I
like it was good because like me and him obviously both really love basketball and football. We both really love baseball, and we both have a really like deep appreciation for our hockey teams. Mm-hmm. And I really love soccer, but he was just like, I don't really care.
For me, with sports, I can't watch anything besides like basketball. I try to watch the Super Bowl, but I'm like, it's okay. And then soccer, I'm just like, how do people watch this?
I think it's like a barrier of entry with sports. It's like. To me, it's like, if you didn't grow up with sports, you're not going to get into it. I think it's always just kind of been like that.
Like, I was lucky that my uncle was big into, like, the Lakers and, like, basketball. Mm-hmm. And so I kind of had that, like, in the background. And I played some, like, NBA games in the past. And so I'm kind of, like, it's a little easier for me to, like... And also my parents, for some reason, just made me go into the YMCA basketball teams and some shit. And I sucked. That was awful. Next episode.